Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we're live on a Monday, ready to do some podcasting. Find us everywhere you get podcasts. Search the Blackout Tips. We'll come up. The official weapon of the show is
phone jail
and the unofficial sport
bullet ball.
and bullet ball. Extreme. All right, lots of stuff to get into, lots of stuff to talk about, I'm sure. Show note, tomorrow's show is going to actually be at 7:30, and we're going to have Joanna and Dan from Stick a Pole in it, and I can't wait to talk to them about that because we raved about it on our show. We actually had some fans that went out to their show and told them that the Blackout Tips told you about it, which is how they reached out. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that tomorrow.
Yes.
But plenty of stuff to talk about today as well. Karen, do you have any banter? Okay, well I do.
Do you think there's life on other planets?
Oh, well, I wouldn't like to even discuss that.
Why not?
It's a debatable point, I suppose.
What do you think yourself? You must have an opinion here.
Well, there's only one world, man.
Do you think that can stand up to present scientific investigation?
I think it could.
Do you think so?
I think
As far
it
as the
could.
universe goes.
I'll tell you one thing. Loves the intro. All right. So here we go. Random thoughts. I mean, not random thoughts. Banter.
Wink, wink.
Banter. I only had a couple things. One thing I like, my mom does this. And I try to do it to other people as well. But whenever my mom calls me and I'm either like I can't get to the phone right away or she just texts to let me know she want to talk, I love that she'll say everything is okay. It's just I'm trying to talk to you about something.
That's very important.
Yeah, as a person that lives with anxiety, not crippling anxiety, I have functioning anxiety, but my brain, I don't, and it's no one's fault. It's just how it's wired. It goes to emergency every time.
And with you getting older, and I've had the phone calls, they were like, somebody died.
So we all have those phone calls, but but this is the thing. This isn't just a thing that happened when I got older. It's always been like this. It's like if someone every time I ever had a job, I could be doing great, perfect performance reviews. They love me. Boss says, I'll schedule a meeting for 3:00. I'm like, fuck, what I do?
I do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I it's a little thing that we all can do for each other. So it's considered to kind of be like, hey, nothing's wrong. Just want a 3:00 meeting to ask you about this project, something like that. And it's like, oh, I don't feel like suddenly my brain didn't go to like the worst case scenario, like layoffs or whatever. It's just,
right.
We all been through shit. We all get triggered. We all got traumas and shit. Mm-hmm. And so it's helpful, at least for me. And I said this on Twitter, and a lot of people was like, yeah, that is cool. A couple people went to the like, I wish I had a good relationship with my mom. I'm like, that's not my business. Like just I'm not relationship flexing everybody. I was just talking about my day.
Right.
But a person said, well, that works until there's something bad they want to tell you. I was like, no, that's how it works. That's the point. Sometimes they hit you up and they want to talk and then they don't hit everything's okay. You like, oh, everything's not okay. Let me make this phone call and get my mind right.
Right. You can be prepared. Right.
It can be about anything. So it's just a little thing. It's not major. If she forgot to do it, I wouldn't be like, oh God, but it's just a little thing. And it makes the world a little bit better of a place. And I just wanted to send that up the flagpole for other people that think about it, that when we text each other and stuff, because stuff can be real foreboding even if you don't mean it to be.
Agreed.
You just text your significant other or somebody like, hey, we need to talk, nigga. That's how many people do you know that go but if you go, hey, everything's okay, but we gotta talk about something when we get home, that's a little bit better. It's like, oh, okay, everything's fine, just who knows what we're gonna talk about, but it's not end of the world level shit,
Right.
I keep watching these trailers during the NBA games for the upcoming Bad Boys movie, and I just have to say, I don't think it's possible for them to make a Bad Boys movie I won't go see.
Ain't that truth?
Long as Will and Martin in it, I'm there.
I'm in. Yes, sir. I don't care if they're 85, as long as they bad boy for life in wheelchair. I'll be there.
If they're alive, I'm there.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what could happen if
They called it bad boy for life.
Yeah, I don't know what happens if one of them isn't in it. Like maybe I would change my mind.
Right.
But yeah, I'm 100% down with the bad boy era, and I mean it's so bad that this one I think is like Bad Boys 4, but the last one was Bad Boys for Life, and that was Bad Boys 3. I don't give a fuck if it makes sense.
It ain't got to make why? Who said the universe had to make sense?
They can start doing it like Fast and Furious and splitting the title up and be like Bad 5,
Yes.
Boys 6. I'm going to see it.
Better than ever for life. Don't care.
Right.
Don't be there.
More badder, more boys.
Yes.
We back, you know. And then the last thing is had an interesting exchange on social media with somebody that used our hashtag, which we often check the hashtag. If you put TBGWT, we check the hashtag. It's a good way to retweet and promote the show, interact with our fans, you know. And so I saw someone in the hashtag that posted something I would consider negative feedback. She said, I do not like how Rod talks to Karen on the Blackout Tips, TBGWT. He a Virgo or Aries or something. And I saw it and I just replied back like, she's an Aries, I'm a Libra. And then, you know, let's just say from there, it got worse. I tried to be polite as possible, upbeat and constructive as possible, you know, show not for everybody.
Right. We understand that.
I don't know what she heard. I don't know how she heard it. I don't know what her triggers and traumas are that bother her. You know, I try to keep it, you know.
And I try to be understanding to that.
Yeah, we also, this Drake shit got people listening to us that don't normally listen to our show.
Agreed.
You know, somebody left a comment on our YouTube that said everyone doesn't need a podcast. Does she have a bonnet on? Talking about Karen. Karen does not have a bonnet on, but also suck my dick. So like the fuck, move on to the next podcast then, nigga. What does a bonnet have to do with it? The whole thing. Do you like the commentary or not? You know, it's not like, you know, sorry we didn't put on tails and tuxes for you niggas. But so yeah, you know, it's not for everybody. But you know, I tried to be reasonable with this person and be like, all right, well shit, you know, shit happens, could be a bad show, bad moment. You never know. Sometimes I do this with people and it goes well, you know, people, it's like, oh, I didn't understand that this was also happening and And I try to give this person like a more fuller context, and eventually like this person just, they did all the stuff that they said I'd be doing. They were like, you condescending and you talking down, but they were saying, you know, mean things towards me. And I just said, all right, you have a good night. And I went back and deleted any interaction I had with the person, because I was really like, I'm not trying to make people pile on this person to go get them.
Right.
Although, you know, they ended up fighting some of our fans on social media, you know, going back and forth with them.
Yeah, they see the interaction.
Yeah. And you know, and it's that weird logic that Twitter niggas always have, where they got like 17 followers or 100 followers, and they do the weird thing where like they can say something to you can't say nothing back, or it's just my opinion. Well, you're giving your opinion on what we do. We give our opinions. It's like an exchange, but you know, you don't have to be interested in that exchange. But it's not like you put this shit in your journal. You put this shit in a public place where anyone can see it, you know,
right?
Knowing that we look at the hashtag, you use the hashtag, didn't even type out the whole thing. So I just thought it was interesting, that exchange, but it made me think about, because I'm always thinking about the show.
Yes,
we're both always thinking about it. We had a good conversation about it, but I wonder what a person like that is hearing that makes them think I'm talking like down or mean to you, because I talk like this to everybody that is my friends.
Yeah,
and I don't. To me, I don't talk down to people. I'm straightforward. Like if I don't understand something, I ask for explanation.
And that's an acquired taste, because a lot of times what I've realized is people that are flat-footed and straightforward, you either like them or you don't. Like a lot of times there's no in between with those people. I love those people because of the generation I was born in. Bitch, let's cut through the bullshit. My feelings, tell me the truth. But when you deal with people that are big feelings and you got to cater and you got to navigate them feelings, and the emotions you showing me ain't really the emotion that we need to get down. Like, it's a lot of the hemming and the hawing and all this other type of bullshit in order to get to the root cause of the issue. And I'm like, no, fuck all that. Tell me, let's cut the bullshit and let's get to the truth.
And also, I don't like pander. Like, I don't do that thing where, like, if you say a joke that I don't think is funny, I would not pity laugh or pretend that it's funny, because I don't think that I wouldn't want someone doing it. If it's not funny, it's not funny. We can actually make a joke of it not being funny. It's a running joke on the show. Sometimes you make a joke and it's not funny and you go, I just love my bad puns and I don't care. Ha ha.
Child, y'all know me. That's my motto. They gonna suck, don't care.
I think it's also a thing where people don't understand how comfortable you are with certain things. Like, we used to not routinely, but I'd say over the course of 15 years, we've gotten less than 10 people that say something like this.
Right.
And it's normally, like, to me, something that they're harboring and projecting onto us. And in a lot of ways, I think they want to argue with me.
Yes.
And then by proxy, they act like they're protecting you, stripping away any agency that you have, any opinions you have, as if, by the end she was saying, I'll bully you or I'm abusing you or something. It's like crazy shit to me. But it was like, where does that come from in that person? And how come they never go, fuck, I'm the only one feel this way? Why is it, maybe I'm wrong? It's always like, no, everyone listening to your show, it's a cult. You got them fooled or something. Like something.
Yep.
So it's such a weird place to be stuck in, because I don't need to prove to anybody that I respect you or know how to talk to my wife and all this shit. I mean, it's not I'm here every day, all day. It's not just the hours of the podcast that people get to see. It's every day. It's all the shit that we do for each other. But I just always wonder, like, where it came from and why it ends the way it ends, no matter how kind I try to be to the person, no matter how reasonable I try to be with the person.
Because they don't want
because they were like, well, you don't always laugh at her jokes or something like that. And I'm like, well, one, I'm hosting the show. I'm moving a lot of shit.
Right.
And I do try to be an active, present listener, but I'm not gonna lie, it's not always possible, because sometimes, and it wouldn't just be Karen, it's anyone. I'm hosting the show, so I'm looking at the next segment, the clock, the recording, the chat, and all this shit.
Yeah, you have a lot of things going on. And the thing about me and my comedy, and particularly during the course of us doing the show, I'm just talking. So a lot of times I just throw little snipes out there sometimes. And because your brain is ticking, sometimes I can see the audience might get it, or either you might be like, oh, wait a minute, that's funny. Or every now and then I'll say something, you'll catch it in a moment and you just will be like, oh, and I'll be like, yeah.
And sometimes I ask you to explain stuff because I don't understand. And I think that means the audience doesn't understand something too. Someone in the audience doesn't do it. And you do it to me all the time too, where it's like, well, what do you mean by that? Or
yes,
can you explain that better? I feel like it's just communication skills. But part of me also wonders if
you have to have trust.
Right. And part of me wonders if that's a huge part. Because this audience member doesn't, I guess former audience, I don't know this person, but they don't have the trust under the 3,000 episodes and 15 years of podcasting and 30 years of relationship with us to know that there's no way I would disrespect you like that. I don't talk crazy to you because I don't talk crazy to you personally. Why would I ever do it publicly for an audience? That's not that's not some shit I even believe in.
Right.
And it's always weird too, because like when you talk, you get passionate.
Yes.
And it sounds emotional to people.
Correct.
But like
and it could be intense to people that aren't used to it.
Right. And I'm sure it might even be intimidating to some other folk. But
yes,
I'm never on here like, you gonna stop raising your voice, because I understand your communication style is your communication style. And just because you're getting louder doesn't mean you're yelling or you're angry or you're upset with me or or we're having like a different conversation now. And I think maybe if you stick around long enough to listen, you kind of get used to some of these idiosyncrasies in our dynamic.
And our communication skills. Like I said, I'm more aware of that as I got older. When I was younger, I was not as aware of that. So sometimes I try to be conscious of that, particularly if I'm around people that aren't familiar with me, because it's like you say, just the way I'm being myself and I'm talking, a lot of people can interpret that in various different ways.
Yeah, so it was just like an interesting thing. And people that saw it were kind of coming in and being like, oh no, this person's just crazy, or they got something wrong with them. They just wanted to fight you for some reason. It wasn't shit you could do. Don't worry about it. And I wasn't really worried about it in that way. I wasn't like, I'm gonna reach this sister. I was just like, where's this coming from? And also it's the insecurity, because I remember other times people have written in, and I think because we live in a world, patriarchal society, men run shit. Men have a lot of double standards for shit. Within, especially in their own interpersonal relationships, their marriages and shit. But like, I remember people would write in and be like, well, Rod is saying Serena Williams is attractive. Karen, how come you're not saying all these men are attractive? I was like, why do you think we're keeping score?
Because they would.
We're not children. It's not like a tally over here like, Karen, I said someone's attractive. That's a celebrity.
It's your turn. You pick one.
You have to go now. Okay. Oh, you said The Rock? Okay, well, that's 2 for me, because he weighs 275 pounds, so I get 2 women to your 1 man. Like, it's just like, it feels childish to me, Yes. The people that used to write in and say, why we don't argue more? And I'm like, we disagree.
Yes.
And we don't fight.
Yeah, yes. And the thing is, a lot of people think disagreements and fighting are the same things, and they are not.
Right.
And a lot of people have been raised that they've had an interpretation of, if I disagree with you, we must be fighting. And they tie that to raising the voices, insulting your mate, calling your mate after, like all that quote unquote must go together. We disagree a lot, but we can talk in like normal tones and things like that.
Honestly, I wouldn't even say we disagree a lot. I just say we disagree. It just don't be it's not the end of the world.
And it don't be a yelling match.
No one's calling each other out each other's names.
Yes.
Or whatever.
And I think a lot of times, if you're not quote unquote yelling, a lot of times people go, well, are you really fighting? Not quote unquote fighting, but are y'all really disagreeing? Or y'all just always agreeing? That's a false statement too. We don't always agree.
But I just always find that such an interesting thing, because as much as we work on this podcast, it's basically our baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things that, this is on me, this part, because I shouldn't be this way necessarily, but it's the way I'm built. Specifically because as a Black woman, I was like, well, let me give this sister a chance. Maybe she hearing something that I'm doing that I'm not even aware of.
Right.
Because if it would just been some nigga, I would have been like, all right then, buddy. You know what I mean?
Like, get to going, buddy.
Right. Hey,
that's the trails.
Your girl, your work, why she gotta have on a bonnet? I don't know. Suck my dick, get the fuck out of my face. But with it being a sister, I'm like, I don't know. Could be some blind spot that I got or some shit. Like, who knows? Maybe other people would agree. Sometimes people come up. You think they're saying something little, and it's 2-3 other people said the same thing. Okay, well, shit. I could be a little better at that.
Right, because you try to be understanding and reasonable. You have a lot of compassion and things.
Right,
like that. Yes.
But I think she just wanted to cuss me out or whatever, be mad or whatever.
Yes, sir.
But it was just such a interesting thing, because I've said this many times, but when someone is determined to dislike you, an olive branch might as well be a weapon. Because I'm reaching out, going, hey, maybe it's some constructive criticism. Well, I don't listen to the show to know what y'all be saying. Okay, well, you said you noticed the thing. Well, I don't have a minute mark. You don't need a minute mark. Like, what's the thing? Just let me know, and maybe I can work on it.
Right.
And ultimately, after all that back and forth, it turns into just, you ain't laughing at all her jokes, and I'm like, well, I guess that's gonna have to be a thing, because the audience can laugh at bad jokes. But as a nigga that got paid to write jokes, I personally am gonna hold Karen to the same standard.
Is hilarious
as everybody else. Okay,
not bad puns. Go.
But you know what else it made me think about? Because y'all know love and relationships that's my shit. We just don't do a love and relationship show, but I love thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It made me think about how even at our big age, most people's measurements for relationships and equality or whatever power is less about the respect of the individuality of a person and more about like the tallying, the they'd rather have a power imbalance. Like love is when I do something fucked up, you say it's good, or love is when I want you to do something, you just do it like you're a child. You know what I mean? It's a lot of control. It's a lot of I don't want to even say jealousy, but like this weird kind of like a box that you put this person in, and you do these actions and stay in the box, and that makes me happy, as opposed to I like honesty with respect to me is more valuable than lying to me to make me feel good. So if you're honest and you're like, because we can
Even
keep
if
laughing,
you fuck up, yes,
we can keep laughing at a joke that's not funny.
Yes,
We keep that going every day. We do it all the time. It's like, oh, okay, that joke wasn't funny. We got more jokes. We can keep it moving about things if we're being honest with each other. But the whole like tallying and balance thing, people come to our show and they just missed the point. I we were talking yesterday, and I said, one of the things I'm very proud of with our show is if you go to any of our deep dive stats for like demographics. Now they don't measure race on these apps, but I'm pretty sure most of our audience is black. But we're split pretty much down the middle. It's like 48% or 46% male, 50% female, and then like non-binary and whatnot. I think somewhere around 2 to 4% all the time, right? And the reason I'm proud of that is because we didn't get it artificially. There's other podcasts that have those similar numbers probably, but the way they get it is through this fake ass gender war shit. It's, hey man, you walk into the bathroom and your wife best friend in there with her thong down.
Steak, what? Women eat salad.
Right. So why come women want us to pay for dinner? That kind of shit. And then the woman says the woman's thing and the man says the man thing. And so they got 50-50 down the line of like who listens, but there's 50-50 to see a fight. It's 50-50 to see, some mess, as opposed to like, this is just our general opinions and things we like to talk about. So I'm very proud of that. And I think a lot of times that's what kind of grounds me in like feeling like, oh no, we're doing something good here. Cause it's not just, like, I think I would feel away if I looked up and saw 70% men listen to this. I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Because if we got the same statistics as a Joe Budden podcast because we're doing Joe Budden shit, that's just what happens, So I do watch that, but yeah, it's just interesting how you can like try to reach somebody or try to talk to somebody and end up with this kind of bullshit.
And also what I've realized, this is just me on the outside looking in, just getting older and growing and mature. The average person definition of love has not evolved since they've been a child. And when you really talk to people, they can only give you their definition of love. And when you are children, you do keep tallies. When you're a child, I do something for you, you do something for me. Like it is always a tit for tat. And a lot of people through various different relationships have been like hurt and abused, and a lot of their love and trust has been misused. So for a lot of people, when they go into relationships, it's very hard for them to let their guards down and be themselves and all these other things, because they never are in a place where they feel 100% comfortable with truly being themselves. And also relationships, they've been around, what we see on TV, everything we consume is always, even the gender war, what is always about? Power struggle, who is right and who is wrong. Not about what I'm bringing to the table, not about what they're bringing to the table, not about how can we the relationship is, how can we as a unit and as a set of people make this thing better? How can we grow it? How can we nurture it? What can we put into it? And because of that, you have a lot of people with these very stunted definitions of love. And I know for me, my definition of love has grown and evolved, even with being with you, from when we first were married to now. The thing I realized about love when people are younger, love is very intense when you're younger. And as you get older, your love, it's, how can I say this? Is still there, but it's not as intense, which means you know how to respond to it better, and you know how to not allow people to manipulate it. You learn how to protect it at all cost, and you learn not to let people kill the love within inside of you, because there are a lot of people the love is dead, like that part of them is gone, and so they're very cynical, and so they don't believe in love. They think love is just some fart, which I get, because life has kind of beat it out of them. This is just my opinion. And so, yeah, I could see a lot of people, they feel like what you're showing me can't be real. What you're showing me cannot exist because it has not existed in my life, so I don't believe it. How can I look at y'all and think that what you're projecting is real?
And I try to be aware of that too. You know what I mean? Because I understand people have different histories, and that's what love is meant for us is different for what is meant for other people and stuff.
Agreed.
And so, you know, maybe there's some nigga that do be talking slick, but making it seem like they not talking slick, or maybe they make that joke, but they mean that joke. Like it's not
because there's no trust there.
There's no, yeah. So like I try to keep that in mind, but it's like I don't know. I can't prove to you I'm a good person, and most importantly, I'm too secure to try. I don't need to prove to you that I'm. Oh no, I'll laugh at a bad jokes from now on. Like no, nigga, move the fuck on. We don't have that kind of relationship, and I don't want to have that kind of relationship. I've seen relationships where people run each other.
I have too,
and I don't like that shit.
Me either.
Like, and I'm not saying those are bad relationships. They're just not for me. I don't think I would want to be with somebody that need to be ran, and I don't want to be ran by anybody. I would like to have my own autonomy. And I think what's interesting is when we talked last night, the way you said that is really not about you, I thought was interesting.
It's never been about me. Once I realized that, I learned how to navigate it better, because you know we live in a patriarchal society, and most people look at, particularly in straight relationships, they look at the woman as a property and the man owns the woman. That's how most people look. And they look at the man as a form of quote unquote protection, or the shield, or the head of the household. However you want to put it, that's how they view men. And so a lot of times they feel like if I want to get that man to respond, I can't go at him because he's going to come at me with brute strength, because he's a quote unquote man. He's going to come at me. He's going to dismiss me. He's going to toss me to the side because that man is quote unquote the stronger of the two. But if I attack his property, if I kick his dog, if I come in his house and tear his shit up, he's got to say something, because I have fucked up the shit that he considers property. And this is how a lot of men function. And so for a lot of men, you can attack them, but when you start talking about their family and friend, their loved ones, they freak out, instead of being secure in themselves to know a lot of times and tell the difference and have discernment to realize, is this a battle I should fight? Because there is a time that you do need to stand up and fight.
Right.
And shit like this. But every fight is not meant for you to fight. Sometimes you need to be like, this shit is not that important, and there's other things more important in life that I need to dedicate my time to, other than wasting it with you. The time I'm wasting it with you, you know what I can spend with? My family, my friends, and my loved ones, and be around people that love me, care about me, support me, and are going to be there for me. Because at the end of the day, those are the people that's going to be there when I'm on my dying bed, not you.
Yeah, I always just think it's interesting the way people come at us over different shit. But yeah, at the end of the day, that person is tripping, in my opinion. And unfortunately, they proved it out, because once I tried to like reach out, they just got nastier and nastier, and then
correct.
I got nasty with other people and shit. And it's just like, okay, well, you're just a nasty person, and I'm sorry whatever happened to you. I'm sorry whoever he or she is that made you feel that kind of way. That sucks. You know?
And also I try to have understanding and compassion, but I also learned that I can have understanding and compassion over here. I can have empathy for you. I have understanding. I have compassion. I can even want you to heal over here. I don't have to engage with you.
I'm with you. That's like I said, that was the thing I had to learn about boundaries. Like, like I think there would have been a time before where this would have really affected me, just to be like, wow, somebody sees me that way. Whereas now, nothing's more important than how I see myself. Nothing's more important than how the people that love me see me. And so I'm not going to like a stranger can't throw me off track. I'm only really talking about it because I do find it fascinating how someone can just have that, I don't know, jaded of a picture of our show from something they admittedly say they don't listen to and can't really tell us any examples of what they're talking about.
Right.
So it's one of those things where it's like, man, I find what your delusion to be fascinating, not necessarily that it's even about me, but just the ability to have that kind of weird, almost like an anti-parasocial relationship. Like, I hate this guy.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know what you think you're hearing, but I'm not talking crazy to my wife, not even for fun, you know?
Oh no, not for fun, not for play or any of that. And it's one of those things where we've seen over the years, seen podcasts do that. They're no longer together no more. We've seen,
because it wasn't fake. At the end of the day, that shit was real. You talk to somebody like that, your brain is not a game.
Right. And like I tell people, and I mean is when these cameras go off, nigga, you got to look me in the eye.
Right.
And you have to deal with, with how I'm feeling and the things that are going on in my head.
I also think people have a hard time understanding how secure you are. Like, you're very secure in ways that, most people aren't. I think you like to laugh at your own mistakes and shit. And
yes.
Laugh at being bad at stuff. I mean, like, you get uptight about, stuff like trying to get my mom logged into the thing.
It stressed me out.
Right. But like, just in general, like, you don't mind laughing at yourself. So it's not like a bad look to you if I'm like, oh, no, that joke's not funny. It's like the same value to you as me saying it is funny. It's not like, well, damn, I need to work on this. I'm gonna get better and get these nothing but great jokes. It's like, no, I'm gonna just keep doing bad jokes. It's, if I'm in there listening to a podcast and you just come in and start talking to me like I'm not doing something, it's been a million times of that. It's never gonna stop. It's never gonna change. So,
but I don't think it is. It's like, nigga, you gonna get these words.
Yeah, so it just, it is what it is. I love that you're authentic like that, and that it's direct and all that stuff, that you fill up all these spaces, with noise and love and stuff that, I would sit quietly and be fine.
Yes.
But, I appreciate it.
We're the complete opposite in that, yes.
You have to love people for who they are and where they are, but, the foundation of what we have is something that a lot of people don't even get to experience, and also they don't have to accept that. So they might see it as just like, he didn't laugh at that joke, he must be beating her. And this is like, all right, crazy person. But anyway, I just wanted to bring it up because I did see people bringing it up. We've already gotten feedback about it.
Because people seen it online.
Because people seen it, I almost feel bad for even, because I literally only responded out of good faith. And I feel almost bad for responding, just because if I had a time machine, I wouldn't have said shit to the woman, because it's just like, oh, you're crazy. Just go be crazy over there and project on everybody after 3 seconds, and that's your world, and that's the world you choose to occupy. It doesn't have to do anything with me, but once I seen we got like 2-3 comments and some emails, I was like, shit,
yeah, I gotta address.
I guess we'll bring it up on the show because motherfuckers didn't seen it, at this point. But it's such an interesting thing, especially in the scope of 24 hours, to get the why she got that bonnet on, and then to get the you hate your wife. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Am I letting Monique down while she got her bonnet on?
Right. Monique, listen to the show.
Right, must do.
And then someone asked a question: as the eldest, are you typically in charge of disseminating info to the family? Nah, not really, not yet. That's like, nah. My parents mostly, if they got something to tell us, they tell us.
Yeah, they straightforward.
So maybe that'll be a thing at some point, but I don't know. As of right now, if something needs to be said, our parents can speak for themselves, and we handle it that way. So, all right, y'all, let's get into the rest of the show. Enough about that.
Psycho music.
Greg said that lady struck a nerve. I hear you, buddy. But let me tell you something. I'm a lot more mature and secure now than I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would have been a motherfucking time. This wouldn't have been.
It would have went left.
It wouldn't have been that conversation we just had about the more philosophical nature of the entire thing. It would have just been me roasting that woman, talking about how she's a tarot card reader and didn't even understand our signs, and got it wrong. And Karen's the Aries, so I guess once that happened, she had to find a new way to make me a dick. So I promise you, this shit is light work.
And child, if anything, a lot of times they think Roger to fight a child. I'm a child. You made me mad. I fight you too.
Well, Karen gets angry, but then she just tells me.
Yes, I
so
do.
Like y'all will never know. That shit don't count.
Nope. Y'all will never know.
That means nothing. I'll cuss a motherfucker out.
Y'all will never know. But like this, if y'all see me cussing somebody out, woo, child,
I'll cuss a motherfucker out.
Child, they have pushed me to the edge.
She just, for the most part, didn't violate the thing that normally make me go off. And I'm working on that. I'm trying not to just go off because somebody pulled the string, but
right.
She didn't, in my opinion, say anything disrespectful about Karen. So, whatever. You don't have to like me. I'm fine with that. But yeah, it's other people that's got it. This niggas has been doxxed and shit. It used to be a time. I used to demand apologies and get them.
Yeah.
There's a few episodes where it's like, yeah, and then this motherfucker wrote that email because I was coming for his motherfucking neck. But hey, you know what I'm saying? You live and you learn. All right, let's talk about the news.
You know what it's called?
Growth. It's called growth, because you shouldn't be like that.
Shout out to Kelly.
Shouldn't be like that, but I don't play about my wife. Feel like that's probably a lot of us.
Child, the same thing. I do not play about my husband. You watch me get really ugly and really nasty. Had to put some family members in their place. You talk crazy about my husband.
21 Savage is responding to Soulja Boy mentioning Metro Boomin's deceased mother. Yeah, Soulja Boy is now jumping in the fighting with Metro Boomin. He pulled up like I don't even know what they fight about. That's how bad it is.
Don't even know.
Like Metro Boom, like
that's the beat maker dude, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He made BBL Drizzy the beat.
Yes. Okay. I want to be sure. I want to be sure there wasn't another one here.
So his Metro Boomin's mother died a while ago. I think more than one person has brought up his mom dying in disrespectful ways on social media. To like, I'm like, what are you even winning with that?
Right. What are you winning?
You seem like a vile human being, but like, what are you winning with that? But anyway.
Purpose.
Soulja Boy said all the stream sales, money, and fame not gonna bring your mom back. Metro Boomin, was it worth it? I can say fuck this money and fame shit and still be a boss. Can you? You sacrifice your own mom, Metro Boomin. You a puffet. Happy Mother's Day, Metro Boomin. 21 Savage said, speaking on a nigga mama like shit, a game, you gonna shit on yourself when I see you, boy. And then Soulja Boy quote tweeted and said, fuck you and his mama, little boy. Nah, I'ma swing on you when I see you, lame. And 21 said, speaking on my name must be tripping. I cannot be scared. Soulja Boy said, 21 speaking on my name must be tripping. I cannot be scared of a nigga from Great Britain. So I guess he's rhyming. I don't know.
This fight makes no sense to me.
Then 21 Savage shared a screenshot of an article that said Soulja Boy's net worth is negative. Judge suggests rapper cut expenses to pay $472,000 he owes a woman. So I guess that's where we're at with it. And I don't know if it's just an offshoot of the Kendrick Drake shit where motherfuckers are just.
I think so.
Like it's like Royal Rumble status now. Everyone's coming in the ring trying to fight.
Cat Williams made it, like you say, the year of grievance. It was like, I don't know what it was, but he put it out there, and everything past that point is like, I got beef with you. And everybody's about just coming out the woodworks.
And it's interesting too, because like 21 Savage never spoke up for Drake. And they did an album together.
They sure did.
Metro Boomin put that beat out. Kendrick did that thing.
No, people are quiet.
Future, his, that like that song is Future dissing Drake. And I did see that Metro said something like, oh, Drake and Future gonna work it out. It's gonna be all right or whatever. but no one is just explicitly on Drake's side of this. Like, you either on Kendrick's side or you're quiet.
Yes, just sir. Or you quiet.
Which doesn't really seem to bode well for Drake amongst the zeitgeist.
Right, which means a lot of these people have felt certain ways, or they either don't want no smoke just on either side. So they're like, I'm not saying shit.
No one's hopping in the booth for him, nothing. It's just
they was like, this your bad. You're gonna take that little on your own, sir.
Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us is landed at #1 on the Billboard 100.
Woo! Chad, but that's been in Chad. That's all. I put that shit on that and L Drake BBL, but on fucking rotation. I go between that one and then L Drake BBL. They not like us. L Drake BB. That's been my remix.
Yeah, I saw one where like a newlywed couple played Not Like Us at their wedding.
Oh, they get wedding songs now?
I'll show it to y'all, but I don't want to disrespect these people, but they didn't really. It wasn't real swagged out. Like they did it, but it wasn't like. It seemed like a last minute situation. Like they didn't have no choreography. Why you trolling like a bitch? But they just having fun.
Yeah, they like, this is reception. We just feel like playing the song, right?
But yeah, it's just, Johannesburg, South Africa, obviously the karaoke from yesterday, Pasadena. It's crazy. It's crazy how much is being played. I don't even never see this.
Pool party. The pool party.
Yeah, the pool party, man. Damn.
The pool party, two-stepping.
Graduations. Just it's Africa. Africans got a whole. I can barely even tell what that is. I can't tell. Oh, okay, all right, my bad. I apologize.
It's over the African beat, and it might have just been
recognize the beat. I said, is that even the right song? But it
might have been the way the record was picked.
They Afro beating that shit to death. It's crazy.
Yes, they is, child. I cannot wait, child. It's a lot of people texting and emailing the group chat from all the HBCUs. Was like, damn it, why couldn't this came out when football season was in?
It'll still be here.
Yeah, it sure will still be here.
This shit don't seem to be going nowhere.
Child, everybody gonna be paying this shit at their homecoming. They got a whole record to pick from.
Let's see. U.S. airlines are suing the Biden administration over a new rule that makes certain fees easier to spot.
Yes, the shit's too high. And don't nobody know where the fuck it's going.
Right.
Fuck y'all. You don't tell me that my bag got to be 8 pounds. I come in there, it's 13, and now I got to fucking pay for 2 shit. You don't tell people that. Like, no, yes, I should be able to spot the bullshit. Yes, they gonna make it where, hey, if y'all cancel the flights, people should have a refund. I don't want your goddamn credit. Give me my money back.
Yeah, they're saying that it will confuse consumers by giving us too much information during the ticket buying process.
They just don't want people to see the breakdown.
American, Delta, and United and 3 other carriers, along with the industry trade group, sued the Transportation Department and the Federal Appeals Court on Friday. Here's my question.
Because that's how they make their money.
Here's my question. Where y'all get the money from to sue them? Because last time I checked during the pandemic, we had to bail y'all ass out.
Right.
Are you suing the government with the government money?
Yes, they are.
What kind of shit is that, bro?
Right. Fuck y'all and put them fees out.
What the fuck? How you gonna use my shit? You showing up to court in new Jordans that the government bought. Nah, man. Nah.
People aren't stupid. Like I said, it's like Ticketmaster and all these other places. They don't want you to see, because if people start seeing like what these ridiculous fees are, they'll be like, why am I paying this? Why am I paying this? What's the point of this? And they make their money from these fees. It's one of these things, kind of like the banks. The fees will fit. The fees that banks have got over the years was in the budget. So all of a sudden, if you start being like, hey, y'all can't charge all these fees, they don't know what to do.
They just mad because on the ticket it's gonna be like suing the government fee,
right?
Brand new Air Jordan fee. you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the general public paying for this.
Losing your baggage fee. Like it's gonna be a bunch of
Yeah, it's a bunch
bullshit.
of pointless fees.
Oh my god. But yeah, I hope they lose.
I do too.
I want to see the fees. I want to see what y'all doing.
Yes, instead of fucking bundling that shit up.
The U.S. is poised to ease restrictions on marijuana in historic shift, but it will remain a controlled substance. So basically, they're trying to take it out of the categorizing it as a dangerous scheduled drug on their on the list and move it down to less dangerous.
Right.
So it'll still be considered a drug, but with it's gonna the proposal, which has to be reviewed by the White House Office of Management and Budget, will recognize the medical use of cannabis and acknowledge it has less potential for abuse than some of the nation's most dangerous drugs. It'll still would not legalize marijuana outright for recreational use. But the AP talked to 5 people familiar with the matter who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the sensitive regulatory review. And they basically said if it does do this, it will clear the last significant regulatory hurdle before the agency's biggest policy change in more than 50 years can take effect.
Yes, and this is big. It's big for various reasons. This is why you gotta fucking vote. All these people that be like, I want to be able to smoke pot. This shit matters.
Yeah.
And also is going for is that they're dropping the number. I don't know 133.
Well, I have the info.
Okay.
So it's Schedule 1 right now, which is the same as heroin and LSD. If it moves it to 3, it'll be alongside ketamine and some anabolic steroids, following the recommendation from the Federal Health and Human Services Department. But it will basically make it one that changes a lot of sentencing stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Like, because right now you get, depending on what the state and stuff, and when you get caught with drugs and stuff, that stuff affects how much crime, how much punishment you get.
Right. And also it's with them dropping it, people can actually do research on it, because right now a lot of places that want to do research and find out about it, they can't do it with it being scheduled, or they have to pay all these fees and jump through so many hoops that for a lot of them it's not worth it. Once you lower it, you can start doing these things, and once you lower it, they can be like, hey, these are the things, these are the benefits, these are things you could do, and from there you can kind of push people, like say vote, push people to get it where they can completely take it off, because it's tobacco on this list.
I don't think so. No.
Right.
And alcohol, I don't think so either. So it's not recreationally cleared to where it's not even on the list. But I mean, it will be huge, especially for criminal people that have criminal records and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I understand jobs that don't hire people that smoke weed for certain types of jobs, maybe.
Certain types of jobs. Yeah.
Even then, it's really more like, are you high on the job? That's what I'm concerned about. I'm not like, if you told me my doctor smoked weed, I wouldn't give a fuck. If you told me my doctor showed up to my surgery smelling like that loud, okay, now I do give a fuck.
Problem.
I'm not that woke. You know what I mean?
I'm not that woke either. No, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't, and I think most jobs are like that. I don't have a problem with a pilot that smokes weed. I got a problem with a pilot that flies high. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
so like,
there is a difference.
There's been this thing where we kind of conflate the two. It's like, no, nigga, I don't have this problem with weed. It's I don't know enough about LSD. I've heard about the like retro trips where people like, you smoke weed, you do LSD in 1985 and it's 2017 and you driving down the street and you see a dragon. I'm like, okay, well, look, I don't know enough about that. If that's possible, then I guess
that needs to be a Schedule 1 or whatever.
Yeah. If that's possible, I understand why that shit wouldn't be just you can do it and come to work.
Right.
But I mean, weed isn't that. So I don't know.
Not.
People are hoping politically this will help get younger voters out and shit. I don't know. I think we'll see. Young people don't necessarily vote. I think for years this has been the secret weapon that everyone claims, like, if you want young people to vote. But here's the thing about weed, guys. All right. Now, I hope I'm not telling tales out of school. All the ages want to smoke the weed.
They do. They won't be able to do gummies. They won't be able to do everything.
All the ages, guys. We keep making it sound like
90s.
it's just a young people thing.
Mhm.
Nah, man. When Denver legalized it and had that vote, it wasn't just like, oh man, who knew so many 18-year-olds are gonna turn out to the polls? No. 50, 60, 70-year-old people like, I want that thing too. They've been smoking since the good old days. You know? It's what it is. So we'll see what happens. Panera Bread says it is getting rid of their charged lemonade.
No shit.
After a spate of deaths.
Because y'all charging them hearts up.
Yeah. Now I wonder how this works out for the lawsuit. Because I feel like if I'm the lawyer for this lawsuit, I'm like, yeah, so they got rid of it because it did make my client almost die.
Right.
You know, or die. Two of them died.
And I guarantee you the reason why they did, because they probably had such backlash. People probably walking in there going, y'all still got this shit up here? And they was like, you fuck, take it down.
A family of a Pennsylvania college student who had a pre-existing heart condition alleged that she died after drinking a large charged lemonade in 2022. Second lawsuit was filed in December by the family of a disabled Florida man, 46, who also died after drinking several charged lemonades. Several. Oh, Ooh. God. Oh, man. Another person, third lawsuit filed by Lauren Scarrett, a 28-year-old from Rhode Island, claimed the beverage left her with permanent heart injuries.
Ooh, that shit must got your heart skipping out your chest.
Right. Man, you must try that shit. It must be like that movie Crank with Jason Statham. Like that, they need to make Crank 3 or whatever the fuck number we on. And then one of the scenes is he got to drink a charged lemonade. Like, oh God, my heart has stopped beating again. Oh, Panera Bread. They'll be like, no, take us out the movie. Please don't. Not this product placement. No, please.
Oh, wrong product placement.
But yeah, they stated that they were not the drinks are not recommended for children, pregnant women, breastfeeding moms, or people sensitive to caffeine.
Why are you selling it?
First of all, everyone's sensitive to caffeine. That's why y'all put that much caffeine in it. Even if you insensitive to caffeine, you're gonna be sensitive to this one.
Yes. Y'all put a battery power worth of caffeine in this. Yes.
Yeah. Like you can't call it charged.
Yes.
Yeah.
Call it charged.
You can't have it both ways. Like, oh nah, he just sensitive to caffeine.
No, bitch. Like they say with the them teas, the prices on the can, bitch.
Right.
Bitch, the name is on the side of the bottle.
It's like saying like, oh nah, he didn't. You might die from getting shot, but that's because you sensitive to bullets.
Everybody should be sensitive.
Like, no, that's not what happened at all. Y'all got the killer lemonade over there. So that's crazy to even fucking say that shit. And then also,
stupid. Imagine to pay them families because this is dumb.
Imagine a non-alcoholic drink that has the same warning as like, don't touch a jagged Viagra pill. Don't let no children, pregnant women, or breastfeeding moms get to this because they will die.
Y'all got the same one as a pack of cigarettes. Get out of here.
Right. Surgeon General on y'all lemonade. Y'all can't even defend this in court. There's no way. There's no way.
Y'all just go ahead and settle with them families.
The MTV Movie of TV Awards have been postponed until 2025, and they said they're going to revamp the format.
I wonder why.
I'm guessing, did nobody watch it or something?
I don't know.
Like, I wonder why they would do that.
I can't tell you the last time I did.
They just said they're putting it on hold. They didn't say what the reasons were. I know they had the writer strike and the actor strike during last year's awards, and I think they put it on anyway with supposedly no writers and actors, although them niggas was reading something in the teleprompter. I don't know how that worked. I'm still looking at them sideways for that one. So I'm like,
somebody put something on.
They didn't freestyle that. Someone wrote something.
Yes, and it was going in front of their eyes.
So they said that this might be part of it, a reduced pool of content because of the strike last year. Additionally, the ongoing conflict in Israel-Gaza has captured global attention with continuous news coverage. Oh, you know what? That does kind of make some sense. Because especially with TikTok, a lot of what is happening from fans of these celebrities is they're treating celebrities like politicians and politicians like celebrities.
Right.
And they're trying to act like if I can get whatever celebrity to say free Palestine, they better say it or I'm a boycott their thing. Or oh, you gotta deal with Target. Well, Target gave some money to this cause that is like an Israeli cause, and so we trying to boycott people and da da da. And maybe for celebrities right now, it's such an untenable situation that they're like,
wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people pull it out.
Right. That maybe they're not even trying to do this right now because it's like, what will be the fucking point?
Yeah, I don't want to be on nobody's red carpet or nothing.
I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just gonna get booed for showing up.
Yes.
Just being me.
And not saying shit.
Yeah, I can see how it was just they need to wait. I can see that. I don't know that that's it. That's the reason this article has.
But and that makes
it has
sense.
taken on its own life. This whole like trying to take down people and shit. I saw like they were talking about Keith Lee trying to like forget what deal. It's like Pizza Hut or somebody has a deal with where the money from the deal is gonna go to black kids in America that need like school shit. But people are like, fuck Keith Lee because Pizza Hut gives money to and I'm not saying, look, not arguing with them. I don't really like that.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about it. I don't think these celebrities gonna get us out of this.
Right.
So I don't, if that makes you feel like you're doing something to go at Keith Lee and demonetize him somehow, I don't necessarily think that's what's gonna happen. I mean, you may demonetize him, but I don't think anyone's gonna be like, well, damn, thank God they got rid of Keith Lee. I think a lot of people are doing this shit because they feel they're angry and they feel like, look, the voting thing is not ideal because at the end of the day, you're still going to be voting for some level of complicity.
Yes, you are.
There's no option where you wouldn't be.
Right.
And so that's not a nice, neat thing you can say. It's not simple.
You can't be clean.
But saying fuck Keith Lee feels clean. So you say that instead. And it feels like if they can do that to Keith Lee, who has one of the best reputations on social media of anyone, they damn sure could do that to any of these other celebrities. So I can kind of see how they got to the point of like, let's not even do this show.
And like I said, wouldn't be surprised if they started filtering out and everybody said, yeah, and all they're like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm good. Like all of a sudden they start getting them declines.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that kind of activism now, because I think at the end of the day, that celebrity activism shit just feels like, to me, another version of stay-in culture.
Yes.
It doesn't really feel authentically like they believe there will be change because of what they're doing. It feels kind of like that Palon shit of like, everyone's mad at this celebrity today. And like I said, when I saw a list that had people's husbands on it, but not the people that we like on it, and I'm like, there would be no reason to leave Beyonce off and put Jay-Z on. There'd be no reason to put A$AP Rocky on and leave Rihanna off. There's just no reason to. Like, if you're sticking to these are your values, you can't be picking and choosing like, well, no, we fuck with them. I want to listen to that album. Nah, it's got to be everybody or nobody. And so that made me feel like it's not 100% on the up and up when it comes to like,
not everybody,
what they're doing.
Some people are true and righteous to the cause.
I'm sure some are. I'm just talking about what I've seen with the list and the people not on it.
Yes, but a lot of the percentage, but I think it's bigger than people are estimating, the people that are out here. A lot of times, like everything else, something happens, everybody want clout. So guess what? You can come out, you can be clout, you can do content, you can stream, you can TikTok, you can put it on YouTube, you can talk about how. So everything turns into content.
Yeah, and I just don't think these celebrities gonna save us. It's nice if a celebrity wants to speak up. I never would tell them not to. I love to see celebrities speak up for causes that I agree with.
Right, that's why I'm saying I'm okay. I stand by some people. When they don't speak, let them stay quiet, because if they come out and say some shit, you're gonna be like, why the fuck did you talk? Right.
Yeah,
when
nobody
let
wants
them
to
shut the fuck up over there and mind their business.
And nobody wants to deal with that part. Like, Mark Hamill's one of the most like righteous, upstanding, fan favorite, good guys in Hollywood, constantly speaking out against oppression and inequality, blah, blah, blah. And then he popped up and said, I'm standing with Israel. We'll never not stand with them. That's our ally. And them same folks that had loved them, now they hate them. You got to now, because you stood on that and you said, you were hating everybody that had that point of view. I'm not telling you one way or the other. Just this is what I've seen happen. But I guarantee if they had a fucking time machine, it's like I would like for him to not say that dumb shit, quote unquote, and they would go back to just liking his Star Wars films and his good guy behavior in every other area except this one, you know.
That's why I do not make demands on celebrities to talk about shit. I don't make demands for their political opinion. I just don't, because I'm like, hey, just stay in your lane. You know thyself and stay in your lane.
Yeah, and ultimately, my problem is not even about the making the demands, right? My problem is, I don't think it matters.
It does not.
Like, we have some mechanisms in our society that actually change things,
right?
And
fuss at those people.
A lot of people refuse to acknowledge those mechanisms, but then will be like, if we can get Usher to say, it's like, I don't mean to be a dick. You're treating our celebrities like they're politicians, and you're treating our politicians like they're celebrities.
Right.
Like, there's nothing they can do about it. Like, no, get on their ass. That's when you do protest. That's why you ain't never seen me come on the show and be like, I can't believe they went to the church and told Biden to do. No, that's what his job is, to hear the people.
Yep, that's that.
Do it look good? No, but that's the point. It's not supposed to look good. He's supposed to feel like pressure of, this looks bad for me. I should start doing something about it.
Yes.
That's a more real thing, you know, like that to me.
Right.
But Lizzo, no, I don't give a fuck. I never gave a fuck. It's cool if she's a good person, but I've never sat around and been like, man, she really need to advocate for this cause. I'm not fucking with. I don't give a fuck about that shit. If her album was whack and she advocated for every cause I agree with in every direction I wanted her to, I would not listen to that album because it's whack. That's the real truth. That's the ugly truth. And I think it's more true for most of us than the latter is of, I just want good people to win. So I'm going to be listening to this whack ass album because that's a good person. No, nigga, the deal was always entertainment for money. That's it.
Right.
You're not my leader. I didn't elect you.
Right.
And I did not, none of this shit changes my value system, whether or not you rap about it or sing about it. And I don't mean it in no disrespectful way.
Correct.
It's just not your job. Who the fuck is looking to you to do some shit? And don't even get me started on the black angle of this shit where they'll fucking make Charlemagne our fucking talking, you know, like that's our leader now or some shit. I'm like, no, he's just an entertainer.
Right.
I'm not looking for entertainer leadership. I'm looking for fucking leaders to lead that we elected and to do better jobs, to put that pressure on them.
Right. And also it's one of those things where, and the thing, because in my opinion, it takes less effort to go after the celebrities than it would to go after the politicians.
Well, then you have to admit that you were going to go either vote or pressure them or be part of some sort of you're going to have to admit you're going to push on that system to make something happen. But the way they are couching their morality, they're basically saying, if I stay home, I'm putting pressure on the system. But all you're really doing is nothing, and then pretending that you're acting like you did something. But if you're spending more time going at the motherfucking Lizzo or whoever, you know, the people that aren't your favorites, because let's be honest, Megan Thee Stallion could announce 12 brand deals. Y'all never gonna make the leap to fuck her. So it's just, you know, it's certain shit that just seems kind of performative to me in a way that doesn't really seem to make it doesn't seem to be providing solutions for the things people claim they want solutions for.
Right, because it's not sincere. Because if, like you said, and I feel like if you were sincere, you would be doing stuff like all these fucking Republicans. Y'all need to start protesting them and standing in front of their offices. But you don't want to do that part, because that's the part you need to do if you really want this shit to change. But then I look at you and from my perspective, maybe I just dismiss you. I go, okay, I have to dismiss everything you say because you're not sincere, because this is the system we have. And for the things that you demand, in order for you to get what you really want, these are the things that you have to do, because this is our system. And this is the truth, and this is the way it's designed. And you can do two things at the same time. You can be mad that something in the system is not functioning right and demand that the system does better.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not even advising them, just saying why I'm not really moved by it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying y'all need to go do voting. If y'all don't want to do it, y'all are going to not do whatever y'all want to not do. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I can look at it and be like, yeah, that's not for me, and I don't necessarily agree with that. That's it. I have nothing else for these motherfuckers. So it's not, I care about some of the same shit y'all care about in the same ways you care about it. But I just think the stand culture shit has really warped our brains into this celebrity activism shit.
Yes.
And it's so weird because like it also feeds into this idea that celebrities have to be so fucking important. And I feel like the reason people do that is because they have invested so much time into this nonsense of like celebrities matter. They're so important. Right. And now the worst thing in the world is to find out they're not. Like Taylor Swift does not run the government.
Right. Ain't got no vote in Congress, Senate, none of that.
You can give her all the fucking money out your pocket. It ain't. All you did was give your money away for entertainment. That's not the same.
Mm-mm.
I do wonder what happens if we live in a world where, and this is not, once again, these aren't shots at these celebrities. I fuck with they art. But imagine a world where the money, record-breaking money people spent on Taylor Swift and Beyonce tickets, imagine a world where we took that same money, formed some type of PAC that then lobbied for these causes that we claim to want. You know what I mean? Where we know how that system works. We know a lot of it's based on money and pressure. What if we collectively had the money and the pressure to put on that system to be like, hey, we would like this thing done. Who are the politicians willing to line their pockets with our money to get it done because we understand that's the language y'all speak? I'm not saying we should do that, blah, blah. I'm just saying, imagine a world like that as opposed to us being like, I give up on pushing these politicians. I'm going to push the celebrities and not the ones that I like. I'm going to keep going to see they shit and just not bring that up,
Right.
All right, let's get to another segment. I'm sorry, that took a weird turn. I didn't mean for it to go there, but whatever. Fucking with black people. Shocking school permission slips requires parental consent for a visit from a black author. Looks like a request from Coral Way, part of Miami-Dade County Public Schools, was an attempt for the school to comply with Florida's 2021 Parent Bill of Rights, which requires schools to have policies that promote parental involvement in the public school system and gives parents the power to object to classroom content based on their beliefs of morality, sex, religion, or belief that such materials are harmful. In November, they adopted those new rules, saying you got to tell the parents about everything, blah, blah, blah. So Steve Gallen, a member of the Miami-Dade School Board, told WPLG that the policy is an extension of the new state board rule under the Parent Bill of Rights. Parent Chuck Walter posted a photo of the permission slip he received for his first grader, which states that in the activity description, students will participate and listen to a book written by an African American. I had to give permission for this, or else my child could not participate, Walter wrote.
Yeah, because the way them laws are.
He also has a fourth grader. He said it was shocking to receive the permission slip, that he had never before been asked to sign one for a guest speaker to visit either of his kids' classes. The fact that the description is African American and not what the content was is crazy. Like, it's literally the quiet part in a megaphone to be like, well, is it because he's speaking about anti-racism? Look, all we know is he black. Some of y'all ain't gonna want y'all kid in this classroom with no black person talking. So you need to sign this sweet sheet to let them hear a black person talk.
Ain't that fucked up? Because you got black ass teachers down there too.
Right. That's crazy. A district spokesperson acknowledged in a statement that the description of the event may have caused confusion, and they're working with schools to reemphasize the importance of clarity for parents in describing activities, events that would require parental permission.
No, you made the shit vague on purpose, and so they're doing what they do, and they go, well, what did they complain about? Niggas, okay, let's okay, the blacks, y'all. So y'all, if you don't want your kids to see the black, because the thing is, they're scared, and they don't want to have the kids in there have to deal with the backlash because they were banning all the books, they were banning this, and so you have everybody in a tizzy and they don't really know what the fucking rules are because you keep them vague on purpose. So at the end of the day, if somebody decides to sue, you can have any interpretation that you want to on your side to defend your bullshit, and this is the result. And now you're like, no, that's not what we meant. Yes, this is the results that you wanted, and now you want to back away because it makes you fucking look bad.
Yeah, that's crazy to me to be like, nah, it's not. We just need to get the language cleaned up, because what I think happened is they told us explicitly what that language means, and they'll use different flowery language next time. But what they mean is, do you want your kid seeing a black person talk at the school? So yeah, it's just 0 to 100.
This gets Jakari's. So you have to send out permission for this. So if your child gets a black teacher, you got to sign permission slips in order to be in a black teacher's class, or Hispanic teachers. Like, I'm just keeping it class, LGBT, like the way this goes. And like I said, you purposely did it because at the end of the day, you want to target these people. You want to target these communities. You want them purposely to feel less than. You want them to feel unsafe. That's the whole goddamn purpose of it. You want them to know that we are looking at you. We have a target on your back.
Yep, I agree. I'll give it your cars. Let's see. What else is happening? Do one more maybe. Kansas man pleads guilty to stealing Jackie Robinson statue, faces more than 19 years in jail. I'm sorry. This is funny to me, and because I'm sure in his racist mind, he was like, they taking our Confederate statues. Robert Bedford Forrest never did nothing to nobody. But nobody. Kill people so we could keep slaves. And y'all gonna put Jackie Robinson up there?
Go to jail.
His name is Ricky Alderette. He's 45. He's charged with aggravated criminal damage to property theft of property or services valued at $25,000 to $100,000, making false information and identity theft. He is looking at more than 19 years in jail. He will also be forced to pay $41,000 to League 42, the youth baseball program founded by executive director Bob Lutz in 2013. The reason for the theft was, hold on. The reason for the theft was financial and not race, according to the police. Now, are the police the greatest arbiter of that? I don't know. But that's what they're saying. So yeah, surveillance video from January 25th showed 3 suspects, but it's not been announced if the other individuals will be charged. Damage was estimated at $75,000 after the fixture was cut down to just the cleats. Burnt remains were found days later at a park 7 miles away. What?
So they burnt the statue?
Wait, where's the financial part?
That's my question. Where is the financial part?
I
don't believe you. You need more people.
This article is missing any reason to call it a financial crime. Once news, I'm reading the rest of the art. Once news of the statue's theft and destruction went public, donations began pouring in. They got over almost $200,000. They raised somewhere between $500,000 and $600,000. Lutz said in February that any extra funds after the statue is replaced will go towards boosting League 42's programming and facilities. I don't see how it's a financial crime.
Not based off of what you said, no. Not unless it's a paragraph that's missing.
Jackie Robinson statue found burned and destroyed after theft. What the fuck is the financial card? What the fuck?
You're not selling the metal. You're not selling on the black market. You burned it. So what was the financial incentive there? I don't believe you.
Yeah. I'm reading another article now. I still don't see what the fuck he was. What was the plan? Take the statue down.
What was the plan?
Burn the shit out of it. Money? What the fuck is the plan? Where's the money come into it? They said the statue was valued at $75,000, but they found it burned in a trash can. Nah, nigga. Now I'm even more fucked with, because the article line, the police in on it too. That's why they pleaded out like, no, it's not a hate crime. He just need the money. Like, well, how is he gonna get the money? Let's not ask no questions. Just all right, he's already facing a lot of jail time, guys. Yeah, they still, they don't say how the fuck the money came into it. I'm two of the crimes making false information. What the fuck is this?
Two separate articles. Somebody said it's an article on ESPN.
Another one on it better have what the fuck the money part is. Cause I done read 3 articles now. Do it say how he was gonna make the fucking money?
He's gonna make that trick.
If not, then I don't even want to hear
it. They said it does.
Okay,
we will see. Hopefully it does, because these articles make no sense.
Yeah,
you burned it, but it's financial. What?
Yeah, they put a link in the chat or something.
Oh yeah, can you put a link in the chat, baby?
Yeah, I need to know how this nigga was gonna make the money. That's crazy. And why the fuck did it end up burned in the trash then? Like, it's getting too hot. They on to me. They on to us. We got to get rid of the evidence.
And they said they're trying to find it now.
Yeah, god damn, that's crazy. ESPN Jackie Robinson statue. I'm searching for it. It says he pleads guilty to it. I'm sorry we have to do this on the air.
No problem, because I want to be sure that I get a clear understanding before I get my score.
Right. You take this serious, y'all.
Yes, we do. How fucked with are we? We want to be sure. Because as the information changes, that would determine my fucked up ability.
Right. In addition to the theft, he'd be sentenced for aggravated burglary, aggravated criminal damage to property, interference with law enforcement, criminal damage to property, making a false writing, identity theft. The crimes are related to the theft, as well as identification and the arrest. The prosecutor office also said he will be forced to pay that money. Now, we already said. I hope he's learned from his experience. I hope that he has learned. This is what the police said. Oh no, this is what Bob Lutz is saying, the director of the league. Hope that he's learned from his experience. Hope he has learned that what he and his accomplices did was harmful to a lot of people, including kids. Hopefully he'll do better. Police say it's not racially motivated.
They put it in one in the chat.
Okay, let me see if this is the same one. This is the same one I'm reading.
Ah, it is.
Yeah, okay. Karen. They don't say what the fuck the money was gonna come into play. This is some bullshit.
This is bad writing.
Bad right now. It's a police cover up being like it's not racial. Just don't look that way.
Ain't nothing over here to see y'all.
You know what it seemed like, because he ain't got no tweets saying like I hate N-words. They just going, well, it's not racially motivated. Well, it's financially motivated. How?
How, Sway? I want to know how. Did he plan on pawning it? How, Sway?
It's like if I stole your car and they found the car burned to pieces, and then they was like, well, he stole it financially for, like, how? Well, he need a ride? What the fuck? Man, Dracar's for me, man.
Get a ride. Just say, but until they tell us why the score might drop.
I can't believe I just read all that shit and these motherfuckers didn't explain what the financial part is.
And you know why? Because the editors. Y'all know me, child. I believe in editors. This would have hit somebody's desk and they'd have thrown it back at them. Go, bitch, give me more details.
Nah, man. Fuck
this
that
is not
shit.
Detailed enough.
Not a fan.
Who, when, where, why, and how? You
Karen,
did not answer all these questions.
What's your score?
Oh, Jakar's because I don't believe him.
Yeah, I give it Jakar's. I don't understand where the money came in. Yeah, all right. Okay, so the new link. Just once again, the police quote. Okay, investigation not revealed any evidence indicating it's a hate-motivated crime. We believe this theft was motivated by financial gain of scrapping common metal. But then they burned the metal and put it in the trash. I'm sorry. I can't buy this bullshit. Y'all really just let this white man say anything to y'all.
Because if he hadn't burned it, I would believe this statement.
Did he burn 12 other statues too? Because he just didn't know what he was doing? The nigga statue?
Did he not burn the cleats because he couldn't get as much for those? Because they said he cut it down to the cleats.
Nah, man. And the nigga had 2 accomplices. Who the fuck are the dummies that signed up for that if it's not a fine... You know what? This is why it's your car. This is why it's your cars. This is exactly why it's your cars. Fuck that shit.
The whole thing is dumb.
This shit was stupid as hell.
And you know that bitch had to be heavy as shit.
Right. We're going. we're gonna be getting money hand over fist after this. How?
Mm.
Well, first we gotta drive 7 miles to a park, burn it, throw it in the trash.
How did you
Then
move it?
we really finna come up.
Then we read about to make that money now.
Pick one of them Confederate statues. I know they got them.
Yeah, yes, they got them everywhere.
Burn that shit down. Hold that shit hostage. You know what? Fuck it. That's it. That's the show. Thanks for listening, everybody. Sword ratchetness. I got y'all. Sword ratchetness. Sword-wielding man charged with murder in London after a child was killed. Several others were wounded. 36-year-old man was charged with murder Wednesday in London after allegedly attacking members of the public and 2 police officers with a sword. A teenage boy died as a result of the attack. It was a great sadness. I confirmed that one of those injured was a 14-year-old boy, died from his injuries. Taken to the hospital after being stabbed and sadly died a short while later. Oof. The Crown Prosecution Service charged Marcus Arduini Monzo with 1 count of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and other charges. In a statement sent earlier to CBS News, London police force said officers and other emergency services had responded to a serious incident in which a man with a sword has been arrested in East London. We understand the suspect went on to attack other members of the public and 2 police officers. We're waiting for...
everybody could get some, apparently.
We're waiting an update on the condition of those injured. The later statement from... sorry. That woman might be listening. Scary, you crazy, girl! You is crazy! Woo! Oh, my God. Everybody can get some. Give it up. Give it up, y'all. Social media video verified by CBS News partner network BBC News shows a suspect dressed in a yellow sweater walking and appearing to hide behind bushes in the front yard while carrying a long-bladed weapon. I'm just trying to make everyone be happy. Listen to the show, Karen. That's all I want. I'm happy. Senior UK police official Ade Adelican said the incident was not believed to be related to terrorism.
What? You terrorize those people.
Right. I kind of feel like what? I kind of feel like that's just a...
I don't agree with that statement.
I feel like that's a catch-all for like the person that did it wasn't Muslim. Because I feel like, I don't know, that's terrorist. That's very terrorizing.
Yes.
It's terroristy. Yes. Stabbing random motherfuckers with a sword for no reason.
But like this, it's the cousin of terrorism.
Right. It's like when a white man shoot up a grocery store and they be like, it's not terrorism. It was something else. I'm like,
I disagree.
Sounds like terrorism to me.
Disagree.
He wrote a manifesto. I think what you're saying is he didn't wear a turban or some shit. The motherfucker's terrorist. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they said the London mayor Sadiq Khan said he was in constant contact with the police. He's absolutely devastated by the attack. And so yeah, the station was closed for the underground train system for police investigation. All right, y'all, that's it. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. Stick a poll in it. It's gonna be fun. Show up for that.
I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun.
Gonna have a good time.
We are.
And we are gonna killing me. You killing me today, girl. Oh my God.
I'm on a roll, ain't I?
Oh my God. Cause you won't stop. You got to stop.
Shit, now I ain't know I was this funny.
Woo, real tears. Real tears. All right, y'all. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too. Mwah.
Bye, everybody. Y'all have a good